Hello and welcome to Rada's Test Kitchen. My name is Blake Landau and I'm here to teach you a little bit about the different cuts of the cow. We've had a few requests for some things such as 101 basics in the kitchen, and I thought that it'd be suitable to be able to give you a little diagram on different cuts that'll help you next time you go to the grocery market. So here we have our little cow that we drew out, broke down into segments, and then the different cuts of meats that are in this cow. We can start here with the round. The round is the back end of the cow, and the different cuts of meat we have for that are the bottom, the rump, the tip, the top, and the eye. This one in particular is really good for more roasting. When you get it in the restaurant, it's generally a massive chunk, and we split it and then individually roast each one of those and use those for slicer meats, or depending on the circumstances, just really whatever it's most useful for. So the sirloin, which is this area, has the bottom butt, the top butt, and the tri-tip. One of the more popular items in the past years has been the tri-tip. It's harder to find around here where we're at, but that is generally in this little area down here. It's that bottom part of the sirloin. You can get some steaks out of that. It's a little bit more on the leaner side. It's inexpensive, but not my favorite particular cut of meat for steaks. The short loin, that one's getting a little bit more to the more popular cuts of meat when it comes to steaks. In there you'll get the porterhouse, the T-bone, the tenderloin, and the top loin. The tenderloin is it's a long loin that will kind of run along here, and that is the part of the cow that doesn't get used very much. It's more expensive cut of meat, very lean, not so much fat, but it's where you get the filet mignon, where you bard it with some bacon and then you can grill it. The porterhouse and the T-bone, they both have portions of the tenderloin as well as the New York strip, which is the loin. And as you get more down one side, you get the smaller tenderloin, so you get the T-bone. The porterhouse has a little bit bigger portions. Down on the rib, here we have the large end, the small end, the rib eye, and the baby backs, or the back ribs. I put in the red color the more popular items, the ones that you'd be more likely to buy at the store. The rib eye is particularly my favorite cut of meat. It has more fat in it, and it has some tender parts to it. Slow roasting it, making prime rib, that's my favorite. Here, the chuck, we have a big chunk. As you can see here, a lot can come out of that particular area. When I purchase burger meat, or if I'm gonna grind up any burger meat, I generally use this area, particularly when I buy it, because I know for a fact that it came from this specific part of the cow. So if I'm buying choice Angus or Angus chuck, I know it's from one specific part of the cow. Sometimes you'll find all beef or different beef patties, and they can come from just really anywhere on the cow. So the fact that it's chuck ground, you know it's from this area. Also in there you get the short ribs, which are also pretty good. Down here we have the flank. The flank steak is becoming more and more popular. Cut it on against the grain, and you can grill that up, you can marinate it, you can do many different things with it. The plate, a couple popular steaks that have been taken off in the restaurants, hangers and skirts. You can use those many different ways, a lot of time being marinated. The shank, another one of my favorite cuts, a lot of the times get looked past. You can use it in soups and stews because it has the bone. So it's coin cut, and in the middle they have the bone, and that can give a lot of flavor to whatever you're using it with. Classic Italian preparation is Osso Bucco. You braise it, you sear it, cover it with stock, slow cook it, and it's pull apart tender. If you were just to take a piece of shank and throw it on the grill, it more than likely would be very, very, very tough, hard to eat. So braising is a recommendation for that. The brisket, a lot of times smoked. It's it's real tough. So go low and slow for a long time to be able to tenderize that. And the innards, you could obviously use the entire cow all you wanted. These are different items that you can find in the market some places. A lot of the brain, the tongue, you'll find at the Mexican markets if you can't find them anywhere else. All right, well, since we've gone over all the different cuts, now is a really important aspect of purchasing your meat when it comes to knowing the quality and knowing which one to get. USDA has certification classifications that allow you to find out the quality, and what we did is we put the best at the top. Prime is the best, but you're going to pay for it. So choice is second in line for USDA certification, and that is what you'll be able to find more at the nicer grocery markets, and you can request it at the butchers. I recommend that. The select, it's the lower end, you definitely get a discount on your price, and then there's the no roll, and that is where it's not even graded. So to kind of give an idea of the difference between each of them and the way that they are is it's fat inlay. So my marker's kind of dying here. The fat inlay, if there isn't much fat, it's a lower quality. The more fat that's in it, the better the quality. So you'll be able to see just by picking up a steak, the lines of fat that go through there, the better the quality. And like I said, I personally like Choice because it's more bang for your buck with the quality. They actually have a brand out there, certified Angus beef, CAB, and they charge a little bit more for that, but that is the higher 2/3 of the quality of Choice. So the way that the USDA certification works is more or less it's like a conveyor system, and they have a little gun and they scan the gun over the meat, and it reads how much fat's in there, and that's how they get their certification or their classification. So if, let's just say, one cow is broken down, parts of it could be prime quality, parts of it could be select, but the radar, more or less the gun that reads it, is what defines that and what can help it more or less tell if it's a prime or a choice product. Prime is more expensive because it's harder to come by. The more fat in their food, in their diet that they eat, the more fat that's in their meat, and the more food that they feed them, the more expensive the cow becomes, just the higher quality or the higher cost of the meat overall. So a lot of the times there's this huge predicament with cows, being that the ruminants, their stomachs are designed to eat grass, that they should be a grass-fed animal. Over the years they've fed them corn and mash and just different things, and since they're not designed to eat corn, they had issues with their digestive system, unhappy cows, good quality meat. So they've had talks about finishing them on corn, which has a higher fat content, more fat inlay, giving them a higher quality product. But there's just different ways of doing it. It's best to know where your product comes from, know your farmer, know the butcher, talk to the butcher, find out what the diet is. It's really important to knowing if you're actually eating a good quality product or what the USDA certified classifies a good quality product. So this is not the only types of beef. There's Wagyu and there's Kobe beef. Kobe beef comes from Kobe, Japan. It's Kobe. That is quite a miraculous meat. It's massaged, the cow's massaged, it's fed beer. The beer is high fat content, and so it creates high marbling content. That's called Kobe beef. And then the American version of that is Wagyu. You can find that a lot. It's really taken off in Texas. There are some farms in Iowa that still do it, or that do it now. And that is pretty impressive meat when it comes to your tenderloins up here, and your ribeye, your top loin, such as your New York strips. The marbling in that's pretty impeccable. You do pay for it. The Kobe beef has gone anywhere from $100 a pound. You know, I mean, it's quite a bit up there. Just for an 8-ounce steak, it's like $50. It's pretty pricey. But like I said, this here is good for the overall satisfaction. Budgeting here, these two. And then if you are willing to spend the money on the prime or the Wagyu or Kobe. Kobe is the highest quality of beef in the world. With the classification, certification, understanding that, and understanding the different cuts of meat, I really hope that you're able to go to the market or go to your local butcher and find the cuts of meat that you're looking for. If you have any questions, post them down below on the link, and I hope it was an informative video for you.